Arna time. We need to discuss Arna time, what it means, what it represents, what it signifies, because that is now what we are obviously living in. I'm coining the phrase, aren't I? I'm coining the phrase from Fergie time, when Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United never accepted defeat. They were never beaten. They had a never say die attitude. They were totally resilient. They were never out of a game, and they had the wherewithal to win a game from any circumstance at any point in the match. Sir Alex Ferguson's team were 3-0 down at half-time to Tottenham. What did they do? They went on to win the game 5-3. Sir Alex Ferguson's team were 1-0 down in a Champions League final. They were 1-0 down in a Champions League final in the 91st minute to a great Bayern Munich team. What did they do? They fought until the bitter end. They never said die. And they ultimately won the European Cup that night. Ferguson's team could win a game at any point, largely because of Fergie time. Now, the reason I'm talking about Fergie time is because I'm seeing a lot of the traits of what Manchester United did in that era in this Liverpool team. Think of words that sum up both this Liverpool team and that Manchester United team. Winners, no doubt. Resilient. Adopting a never-say-die attitude, strong, desperate to succeed, tough, volatile, and ultimately ready to fight until the bitter end to succeed. We are living in an era of Fergie time, but it's just the Arne Slot version. Arne time. And it's basically got to the stage now where you can never leave a Liverpool match early. Seriously, wherever you're watching the game. You could be in the Anfield Road, you could be in the Kop, you could be anywhere around the world. You cannot turn the telly off early. It's the most sound advice that anyone can ever give you. Because if you are genuinely the type of fan who leaves a stadium early or turns the telly off early, in disgust, in being irate, being upset, if you have to go early, you could genuinely believe that Liverpool are still awaiting their first win this season. You could legitimately think that they are struggling on rather than riding high with a 100% record. Every single Liverpool win this season, every single Liverpool winner has been scored post the 83rd minute. The 88th minute against Bournemouth on the opening day. The 100th minute against Newcastle United in their second game at St James's Park. They beat Arsenal with an 83rd minute strike 2 weeks ago, and now what we saw against Burnley. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. It's stealth, determination and brilliance. 4 wins out of 4. And people are moaning. 4 wins out of 4, and people are genuinely suggesting that there is a vulnerability to this Liverpool team. 4 wins out of 4, including a win against your only genuine title rival. 4 wins out of 4, including a win away from home in one of the most daunting and intimidating atmospheres that Liverpool will go to this season. Newcastle United away from home in the circumstances is about as raucous and aggressive as any away game will be for Liverpool this season. And they went there and they won in the most dramatic of circumstances. Statement. Beaten Bournemouth, beaten Newcastle, beaten Arsenal and beaten Burnley. And people are genuinely talking about a vulnerability. So let's try. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's see it from the other side. I think it's only positive, but it's important to explore, right? So let's try and view it through a different lens. Being a specialist at winning games late, is it positive or is it negative? Is it worrying or is it reassuring? Is it troubling or is it confidence building? Now, Arne Slot here said that it's a bit of both. And I tell you what, I totally and wholeheartedly disagree with Arne Slot. Of course, I say that respectfully, but I believe that Arne Slot has got this wrong. Arne Slot is saying that it's both troubling and reassuring. He's saying that it's both good and bad. I am saying that it is only good. If you are finding ways to win games that you do not deserve, it's only good. If you are finding ways of pulling results out of the bag late in the most dramatic of circumstances, possibly when you don't deserve it, it is good. If you are capable of snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, it is only good. Arne Slot, with respect, sir, you are wrong. There is no doubt that it is only good. This team are still new. They're still learning to play with one another. They're still acclimatising to new leagues and new conditions. They're still developing. And they are impossible to beat now. They are impossible to stop now. Can you imagine how good they're going to be in 6 months' time when they've been training with one another for 6 months, when they've had the Arne Slot sprinkle of stardust poured upon them for 6 months, when they've got that intuition, that telepathy that will develop between Wirtz and Salah and Ekitike. At the moment, it's raw. At the moment, they should be vulnerable. At the moment, they should be dropping points. And they are not. How can anyone misunderstand what that is saying? That is saying that in their most vulnerable, at their most awkward, they are unbeatable. What is going to happen in the future? Far from their slightly uninspiring start suggesting that there is a title race. it actually tells us wholeheartedly that there isn't one. Now look, I acknowledge that Liverpool have looked below their best. I acknowledge that there is a slight chink in the armour. But I would say that that should inspire Liverpool fans and terrify fans of any club that dreams of winning the league. You are less likely to win the league because Liverpool are looking shoddy now and not dropping points. Like, if it's true that they're vulnerable, if it's true that they aren't at their best, surely they had to drop points at either St James's Park or at home to Arsenal. In Liverpool's worst moment, if you believe this is their worst moment, they have played two of the toughest fixtures that they will play this season, and they have come out of them both totally unscathed. Maximum points. It just doesn't make sense to me. Look, I think it's fair to expect slicker performances from Liverpool, no doubt. And I think those slicker performances will come. But the fact that they aren't dropping points in their developmental phase is a real worry for everyone else. And I can't see how it isn't being positioned that way. People are saying the way that they got lucky against Burnley, and there was an element of luck. I mean, it was a ridiculous moment from that Hannibal. Absolutely ludicrous. Like, poor. Let his team down. Let his fans down. Let Parker down. But they found a way, Liverpool. They were relentlessly asking the question. They were constantly on the front foot, and they ultimately found a way. Now that should terrify the rest of the league, not inspire it. And I'm terribly sorry to interrupt this video. I just need to ask you a massive favour. Would you please click subscribe? Please, please, please click subscribe. Join this community. I would love to welcome you in, and it really does help me out. I hope you're enjoying it. Here's the rest of the video. And there's something else at stake here, isn't there? Liverpool are churning out victories. Liverpool are finding a way. They're digging deep, and they are ultimately securing the 3 points. And they are doing it all without the cherry on the cake. They're doing it all without the star striker that they pursued all summer. So yeah, Liverpool did struggle to break Burnley down. Burnley were resolute. Burnley deserved so much more. But ultimately, Liverpool did find a way. But let's use it as a template. They're not finding a way through. They're struggling a little bit, and they rode their luck. Surely when you add the best striker in the league to the mix, all of a sudden, they aren't struggling to break teams like Burnley down anymore. You already have a player like Mohamed Salah, who did not have a good game. On some level, you could have argued that he should have been substituted. Ekitike went off, Wirtz went off, Salah stayed on. And on some level, you say, in the spirit of meritocracy, maybe he shouldn't have stayed on. Maybe he should have gone off. And then you wonder why. And then you see a resounding answer. Quite simply because he can always be the match winner. Mohamed Salah is the personality of the mindset that I'm describing here. The mindset that I've borrowed from Sir Alex Ferguson, Fergie time, is represented so perfectly by Mohamed Salah. Salah had a poor game, overhit a lot of crosses, didn't really get involved, didn't do enough, and then wallop. He's the match winner. Arne Slot said something afterwards, didn't he? When he was asked, he said something like, taking Mo off when you need a goal. He said it will probably happen at some point this season or maybe next season, but it most certainly will not happen often. And that's right. So you've got a player like Salah who can embrace this mentality, but you've then got a culture at the club, a manager that has input this style into his players, this belief that they are always capable of finding a victory. Like, when it happened the first day of the season, when they beat Bournemouth, that first opening game, and we went, God, they got lucky. I was watching the game. I was live for the game. And I went, my God, they got lucky. And at the time, we were right. They were incredibly lucky against Bournemouth. No doubt about it. Semenyo was excellent. Iraola's a genius. And Bournemouth deserved more. Liverpool were lucky. They were so lucky. They were lady luck. They were lucky Luciano. They were luck be a lady tonight. No doubt. Then it happened again. Twice in succession. In the most inspiring way. Against a newly born rival in Newcastle United. In a heated circumstance, in a gladiatorial exchange, in a red-hot atmosphere, they got lucky again. They got lady luck again. They got lucky Luciano'd again. They got luck be a lady tonight again. So now what is it? Is it still luck? Yeah, it is. It's still luck. They were lucky there as well. It was coincidental luck. Then it happens a third time. It happens a third time. It's nip and tuck, it's ebb and flow. There is a natural sway to the game against Arsenal. Liverpool are asking more questions. Arteta has set up to defend, and Arsenal, to be fair to them, were making a decent fist of it. Then what happens? They find a way again. Are we doing it again? Are they lucky Luciano again? Are they lady luck again? Nah, it's just not. And then it happens at Turf Moor. There is absolutely no way that you can tell me that somebody can roll a 6 4 times in a row. There's absolutely no way that somebody has dealt pocket aces 4 times in a row. There's absolutely no way that this is luck. This is design. Just as it was design when Sir Alex Ferguson was winning games in this manner, finding a way, instilling a belief, adopting a never say die attitude. It is all so integral and so important to who Liverpool want to be. Winning games in this manner, it tells us something. It's a painting, easy for us to see. It's a billboard, so easy for us to process. Do you know what it shows us? It shows us that Liverpool are hungry. It shows that Liverpool are desperate. It shows that Liverpool will do anything to retain their Premier League title, something that they have never done before. Liverpool have never retained a Premier League title, and Arne Slot can therefore go down in the history books as the first manager at Liverpool to ever retain a Premier League title, something that he will be desperate to do. And it immediately does put you in the context of greats. Some wonderful managers never managed to retain a league. Arsene Wenger, for example, never retained a league title. Carlo Ancelotti, Antonio Conte, they never retained a league title. And that gives us a little bit of an insight into why this Liverpool team seems so hungry, so relentless, and so desperate. And it's such a strong message to send to the opposition. It really is. Even if the opposition are doing well against you, even if they're defending resolutely, even if they're strong, even if you're off form, the closer the opposition get to a positive result, it's almost more damaging to them. It's almost more detrimental to them. They start getting edgy. They start panicking. The away end, where their fans are based, starts getting really twitchy because they know what's coming. It almost breeds an inevitability. The goal is always coming. And later this season, we could easily end up with a situation where Sunderland are drawing 0-0 at Anfield and the referee checks his watch. 6 minutes injury time to play. How do you think those Sunderland fans are going to be feeling in the away end at Anfield? How do you feel like those Sunderland players are going to be feeling, defending for their lives as the cop roar Liverpool on? How do you think Regis Labrie is going to be feeling, knowing that there is an inevitability of that big chance? Will Sunderland keep it out, or does Alexander Isak tuck it away? This is what it's doing. It's a culture. It's a grounding mechanism. And it's something that we have seen in football for eternity. Liverpool aren't the first to do this. This isn't even the first Liverpool team to do this. That Liverpool team that was unrivaled through the late 70s and early 80s, it constantly had a propensity to nick results. How many goals did Kenny Dalglish or Ian Russ score in the last kick of the game? In fact, there's an even broader example, isn't there? Liverpool won the league in the last kick of the game. Liverpool have done this. Liverpool literally done this. They were up against Queen's Park Rangers. Do you know, I don't know enough about this, but I'm actually going to look this up now. They were up against Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers, what happened here? What happened when Liverpool and Queen's Park Rangers were going for the league title in 1976? It's actually a fascinating story that I didn't know enough about, but it just came into my mind. Liverpool have done all this before. And like I say, I've just looked it up. Listen to this, just to demonstrate that this is in Liverpool's culture as well, something that they have done in the past. Liverpool and Queen's Park Rangers in 1976 were the main contenders for the league title, and it went down to the final week of the campaign. Here's what happened. Queen's Park Rangers finished their fixtures early. They played their last match on the 24th of April 1976. They beat Leeds United 2-0 at Loftus Road. It put them top of the league with 59 points, but crucially, they had played all of their games. They had played 42 games. Remember, it was 2 points for a win then, so it's a bit different. They played all of their games. Liverpool still had one game left to play. They were 1 point behind Queen's Park Rangers, but they knew that they had another match to play. They played Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Wolves took the lead. If Liverpool had lost, QPR would have won the league. Oh my God, Liverpool scored 3 times. In the last 15 minutes, Liverpool scored 3 times. Kevin Keegan, John Toshak and Alan Kennedy to win the game 3-1. Just to demonstrate, I've called it Fergie time, but this is very much in Liverpool's culture as well. The outcome, Liverpool finish on 60 points and claim the league title. QPR, despite a brilliant season, had to settle for second place, their highest ever league finish. Thank God for that. Thank you very much, Kevin Keegan, John Toshak and Alan Kennedy. London, thanks you. West London, thanks you. And North West London, most certainly thanks you. QPR winning a league title. What a disaster that would have been for me. God, what an end to the season. But it was particularly dramatic because QPR's players and fans had to wait for over a week after the final game, hoping Wolverhampton Wanderers would deny Liverpool, but it wasn't to be. So there we have it. Examples of champions winning games late. Examples of champions finding a way to win a victory. Think of any champion. Think of anyone that's won the league title before. You'll always think of Aguero, won't you? You think about what Arsenal did at Anfield, finding a way to win a game late. You do it early in the season. When we retained a league, we went away to the JJB. We went to Wigan and Hernan Crespo scored one of the best goals I've ever seen with his left foot. Opening day of the season, we found a way to win in the last minute on the opening day of the season. We did the same to Hull City at home, Didier Drogba, you find a way to win early in the season. You make your mark, you make your statement, and ultimately you leave everyone trailing. That's what Liverpool are doing. That's what Arne Slot is doing. And anyone, even Slot, that is suggesting winning games in this nature is negative is completely and utterly wrong. Liverpool are relentless. They look like champions to me. And they currently look like champions without their star man. Wait until Alexander Isak is in the team. My God, they are going to be unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all on another video. Ta-da!